Hello, I'm Mario Batali, proud chef and author. I believe that good food makes up the fabric of our daily lives. But for that fabric to remain rich and enduring, we have to consider how we grow, prepare, and consume our food. The NRDC Growing Green Awards, now in their 6th year, have become a mainstay in recognizing leaders and innovators in sustainable food and environmental stewardship. And this year, NRDC has teamed up with the Berkeley Food Institute to present the winners of 2014. Sustainable food and farm educator, John Regan. The quality of our soil affects the quality of our food, water, and health. By working with nature instead of against it, farmers can help solve an array of environmental and health challenges. Dr. John Regan is teaching sustainable agriculture at the university level. He helped create the country's first organic ag major at Washington State University, and for over 30 years, his research has been a significant driver for America's organic farming movement. A tireless educator, John Regan has created a blueprint for growing good food for generations to come.
Hi, I'm John Regan. I'm a Regents Professor of Soil Science at Washington State University, and we are in the town of Pullman, Washington. And right here, we have our organic farm that's for both teaching and research. Washington State University is located in Pullman, which is the heart of the Palouse, which is a region of about 2 million acres. And it sits mostly in eastern Washington and a little bit in northwestern Idaho. And it is the most productive dry farmed, meaning rain-fed, wheat-producing area in the world. So our yields here are off the charts. I got interested in soil science in the 70s. I think it was mainly because of the environmental movement. And I felt that soils were kind of the crest of the wave, and if we understood soil, we could probably pretty much understand most things. We have this organic farm major at Washington State University, which became official in 2006, and it's the only organic agriculture major in the country. It's the first of its kind. You can't have an organic ag major without a student-run farm. And so when I was developing the curriculum, I had a graduate student that was looking for farm sites, and that's how we settled on this 4-acre farm site.
I've been working here since 2004, so this is my 10th year at the farm. And my dream really has been to expand the farm and get to the place where we can grow the program. So having the Eggert Family Organic Farm really is my dream farm for the university. I have been working on that for over 7 years to establish that and develop that. So having the opportunity to actually design a new farm is the most exciting thing for me.
You have to have a farm where students can come out and actually learn operations, from planting seeds in a greenhouse, transplanting seedlings to hoop houses, planting in the soil, learning how to manage pests, weeds, and disease organically, harvesting, marketing those products, learning the economics and farm budgets behind the system. So the students learn the full range. The biggest compliment for me is when I'm teaching and I get a lot of questions as I'm teaching, and they're excited. I see the excitement in their face, and it's not just basically questions that they don't understand what I'm talking about. It's more, they push the envelope, they go beyond what I'm teaching. When they do that, and when we're fully engaged in discussions in the classroom, I'm pretty excited. It's a great day. Winning the Growing Green Award means a great deal to me because it's a sustainable food educator award, and so I've been educating, or I think I've been educating for quite a while now, and to receive this national award it just validates for me that I've had some impact in our food production system.
Regional food leader, Sabella Kraus. Serving local, organic, and seasonal ingredients is very popular for many new eateries popping up across America. But this seemingly recent trend has actually been decades in the making. With a common-sense idea and a single dinner party, Sabella Kraus helped kick off the local food movement more than 30 years ago while working at Berkeley's iconic Chez Panisse. She also integrated the now iconic farmers market at the San Francisco Ferry Building. By establishing a common linkage between chefs, local growers, local land, and public agencies, Sabella Kraus has forged a lasting legacy in restaurants and on menus throughout the Bay Area and beyond. Providing a way for chefs and businesses to offer fresher seasonal produce with far more variety allows consumers to connect with the how and the where their food is grown and means fresher, more delicious food on the plate.
Hi, I'm Sabella Kraus. I'm the president of SAGE, Sustainable Agriculture Education, and we're here in the David Brower Center, where SAGE has been a founding tenant since the building opened in 2009. SAGE promotes regional agriculture as an integral element of regional sustainability planning and implementation. And we work at both the project scale, making sure that that's implemented on the ground, and also through many collaborations at the regional planning and assessment scale. One of SAGE's main projects is the development of agricultural parks. And we actually manage an agricultural park, the Sunol Water Temple Agricultural Park. It encompasses community benefit farming, public education, and natural resources stewardship, all integrated through a management plan. The Sunol Ag Park is located in the little unincorporated town of Sunol. It's about an hour southeast of San Francisco. The Sunol Ag Park is a 20-acre organic farm that is home to 6 small, thriving farm enterprises. It has public education, which brings over 2,000 school kids out there every year for school field trips that are based on a standards-based curriculum called Farming in the Watershed. And it is also a place of significant natural resource enhancement projects, particularly now over about 2,000 square feet of hedgerows, which are part of our education programs. They're part of the natural enhancement of the area because they're between the farm and the creeks. And they also, of course, provide benefits for the farmers who are farming there organically. And it's a wonderful opportunity also to engage the public, particularly high school kids and different groups, in helping to establish and curate that hedgerow.
Protecting the land is really central to SAGE's work. Obviously, connecting people to land and education and helping people to really get out on the land and understand the land, understand where their food comes from, think about ways to contribute to support that kind of vibrant agriculture. Those are all things that are critical to our lifestyle here.
Ag parks like this support a variety of farm businesses. Essentially, it creates access for myself and other young farmers who are looking for land to farm. And were it not for places like this, we'd probably have to farm out of state, you know, land prices being what they are in the Bay Area. So it's great that it can support all kinds of farmers.
I think the most critical thing that we need to do in order to try to maintain the balance of nature and man to keep this planet going is going to be to relocalize food systems and to invest much more in local food production, in supporting both indigenous production, indigenous varieties, indigenous knowledge, and the connection of that indigenous knowledge to local and regional markets all over the world, so that even in those areas where some amount of export, whether it be to 100 miles away or 10,000 miles away, you know, is part of the economy, nonetheless, having the baseline of the food system being strong, local, family-based regional food systems.
Pollinator protector, Chip Taylor. Beautiful and delicate, yet capable of traveling 2,800 miles from Canada to Mexico, it's no wonder the majestic monarch is the best-known butterfly species. But the number of North America's most famous butterflies has plunged to the lowest levels ever recorded, and its migration is in crisis. The widespread use of herbicides and industrial agriculture has threatened this iconic pollinator by destroying milkweed, the very plant they need to both feed and reproduce. And the monarch's plight also points to issues facing nature's other important pollinators. Thankfully, Chip Taylor, founder of Monarch Watch, is making important strides in restoring the monarch's habitat by increasing public awareness and involving local communities, all in an effort to help these inspiring and very determined butterflies bounce back.
Hi, I'm Chip Taylor. I'm director of Monarch Watch here at the University of Kansas. Monarch Watch is a program I created in 1990. Almost everything that we do involves monarch conservation. The monarch migration is just one of those fantastic wonders of nature. What we have is a population that winters in Mexico, and about the end of February, early March, these butterflies start moving north. And the females mate and lay eggs, and they progressively move northward. They get up to about as far as Kansas, and then most of them have died out. And then their offspring take the migration all the way up to Winnipeg. And then there are 2 or 3 more generations, and then the migration starts back again in late August. By the time you get to the end of October, they have reached Mexico again. Monarchs have evolved to only use a group of plants that are called milkweeds. Milkweeds are their host plant. The females lay eggs on these plants. The larvae feed on these plants. It's the only plant that larvae will feed on. If you don't have milkweeds, you don't have monarchs. One of the things that concerns us is that milkweeds have been eliminated over large areas, and we realized that the monarch population was going to go down because of habitat loss, so we created a program called the Monarch Way Station Program. And in that program, we try to encourage people to add milkweeds and nectar plants to their gardens. And it's been a modestly successful program. We have something like 7,600 registered sites across the country, but we need about 7 million. So we need all those gardeners out there to join us in this fight to save the monarch migration.
This is a Monarch Way Station seed kit, and if you order one of these for your Monarch Way Station, you'll receive milkweed plants that you can plant in your own garden and then establish your own monarch habitats where the monarch butterflies can come and mate and lay their eggs on the milkweed plants that you've planted.
My name is Elliot Demler. We are here at Taylor Creek Restoration Nurseries, a division of Applied Ecological Services. This is our nursery where we grow all of the milkweeds for Monarch Watch. Monarch Watch initially approached us wanting to grow a few thousand plants to try to distribute to help support the monarch population. We started off with about 5,000, and this year we're at 50,000+ milkweeds for Monarch Watch. Applied Ecological Services is ecstatic to be involved with Monarch Watch and the great work they're doing to help conserve and protect the monarch butterfly. They're playing a critical role in education and outreach to help save this dwindling species.
One of the reasons for keeping the monarchs and the pollinators intact is that the pollinators are a keystone group. They keep the system intact. They provide the services that produce all of the food that everything else feeds on, including us. And so if we look at the larger issue in terms of our own food production, about 30% of the food that we consume is actually pollinated by pollinators. And we need those pollinators. It's as simple as that. We need them for our own food production, and we need them to maintain the integrity of the ecosystems that we live in. Winning this Growing Green Award will help us validate the program that we have developed here. We're trying to get the message out, and we don't have a marketing team, and this will help us market the mission that we have. We'd really like to thank NRDC for this award, this Growing Green Award. It's very helpful to us, and their support has been very helpful in that it has allowed us to have a program where we can advertise that we will distribute free milkweed flats to something like 180 different schools and nonprofits, and we're halfway there, and we're having a lot of fun with it.
Sustainable livestock producer, Will Harris. Conventional ranchers often raise livestock as cheaply as possible and put profits ahead of workers, animals, and sustainability. Fourth-generation rancher Will Harris is doing things differently. After taking the helm of White Oak Pastures, Harris began a gradual return to the sustainable ranching his great-grandfather practiced nearly 150 years ago. And then he took it further, adopting renewable energy to power his business and supporting local, forward-looking labor practices that are helping his workers prosper. The proud traditions in place at White Oak Pastures signal a promising future for independently owned ranches for the next generation.
I'm Will Harris, and this is White Oak Pastures. It's our family farm in southwest Georgia. My great-grandfather came here in 1866, so my family has raised livestock on this same land for almost a century and a half. Post-World War II, when the country changed agriculture, commoditized, centralized, industrialized, my father was very innovative and was very much part of that. I embraced all those same farming practices. In my 40s, I became a little disillusioned with that, eventually disgusted with that. During that time, I chose to go to a grass-fed model. I ceased to use subtherapeutic antibiotics, I ceased to use hormone implants, and I ceased to use confinement feed, a grain diet to my cattle. And I thought when I did that, I had done all that a farmer needed to do, and I was operating as good as it could be. I later realized that using chemical fertilizers and pesticides on my pastures was wrong. So I ceased to use those, and I thought I was as good as I could be. I later realized that the worst thing I was doing was operating with a monoculture of only cattle. Nature abhors a monoculture. I added other species. Today we raise 10 species of animals. I later realized that hauling animals for slaughter at some distant point is wrong. So we built a USDA-inspected red meat abattoir and later USDA-inspected poultry abattoir or slaughter plant here on the farm. One of the things that we're very proud of is the economic impact that our operation has made in this impoverished rural South Georgia county. We are the largest privately owned full-time employer in this area of several counties. We have over 100 employees. Nobody makes minimum wage. We contribute to employee health insurance. We have a restaurant on the farm where employees and their families eat and drink for half price for everyone else. We did not set out to make an impact in the local economy. We set out to farm the way we wanted to farm, which is high animal welfare, high environmental sustainability, but we're very proud of the economic impact that our farm has made. And I realize now that it's a journey, not a destination. I'm 59. I hope I can farm 30 more years. I believe I can. And I think I'll be making changes that whole time. Winning this year's Growing Green Award from the Natural Resources Defense Council is a validation of the high level of environmental stewardship that we exercise in the operation of our farm, and we're honored and humbled to have received it.
Local, seasonal, inspired, responsible, illuminating. All key ingredients in America's sustainable food movement. They are also qualities reflected in this year's Growing Green Award winners, something to celebrate when gathering at a table with family and friends. The work of these 4 winners, along with the work of the Natural Resources Defense Council, is encouraging us all to find the right balance between nature, our food, and our lives.
The worst question I could ever be asked is, what is my favorite thing to eat? You may as well ask a mother what her favorite child is. Come on, here in the Bay Area, there's so many fantastic things to eat. If you ask me today, great. I might say asparagus and the fabulous snap peas and the rest of the kumquats and some delicious tangerines and some blood oranges. But if you ask me in 2 months, oh, I will be totally enthralled by the raspberries, the blueberries, all of the berries coming out, and the first of the tomatoes. So, and then if you ask me, goodness, in September, I would sing the praises of the fantastic sweet peppers, the whole array of sweet to spicy to red to green to gold peppers that we have coming out, and the early figs. Do you want me to go to November?